Hello, everyone. It's me. My sister and friend, Dr. Ejiro, suggested a movie to watch called Smart Money Woman. I started watching it because it's in episodes yesterday and completed it today. And the movie just brought back a lot of memories for me that made me come on here to just share. I hope that it helps someone out there. Even if it's just one woman, I just hope it changes someone's life today. About, I think last week, we have this family WhatsApp group. It started with just my husband, myself, and our daughters. Then it has enlarged. But on the one that we first started, my husband was sharing about plans that he has for when he dies, where he wants to be buried, telling them about the insurance policy he has taken out and how it was to be shared between myself and the girls, his children. So he stated it out, and then he also told them where the policies were kept in the safe and how to open the safe in case anything happened to him. And as he was writing it, my daughter came on and she started asking that, she's wondering what is happening. Oh, this one that he's writing all this, is he going to die soon? Is there something happening? And we were like, no, nothing is happening. He just wants everybody to know what will happen if he's no longer alive. But this is just sad that most people don't plan their lives after they die. Like, they don't plan for their loved ones because they feel that the issue of writing a will has to do with death. Even people will say, back to sender, I will live long, and then they will start confessing, as they will say, positive confessions. And this is what has hindered a lot of people from preparing and helping their loved ones for when they are not here, which is quite sad. It is time that we come away from this type of mindset and begin to look at things realistically. Talking about will or writing your will or talking about your next of kin and all that, it doesn't mean you're dying tomorrow. Neither does it mean that immediately you finish writing it, you're going to drop and die. It's not going to happen. So why don't we take time to do this? Okay. Let us consider young people that have died, even some in car accidents. You yourself may even know some of them. Some are in their 30s, 20s, 40s, 50s. Some is heart attack or illness, sudden illness that just comes upon them and they die. But they have no will. They didn't write anything because they were planning to live long. And then their family is left to suffer. Men, let me tell you, your wife is okay now. Nothing is wrong with her. Why? You are alive. So nothing is going to happen to her. You're here, you're protecting her, right? But immediately you drop dead, none of your brothers or anybody is going to take care of her. Nobody will care about your children. That is the truth. One of my husband's friend, whom I've talked about before, he's late. He came to buy property. He was a very strong, successful businessman in Aba. And he had a lot of properties. And my husband was his lawyer. So he came this day and asked him to prepare documents for him and to get land. He wanted to buy another land. And my husband told him to buy it in the name of his wife this time. He agreed and bought the land in the wife's name. And my husband was happy, thinking, okay, he has done something to protect a woman. So all the papers were in her name. And the man later built a 2 or 3 story building on it. And they were occupying one of the flats. And then he rented out the rest of the flats in that building. He now died. He took ill. He was in the hospital. And he always believed in keeping his money, raw cash, at home. He never put his money in the bank. So he had money, like trunks of money. So as he was sick and it was obvious that he was going to die, the wife had to call the brothers, like call them, phone and say, oh, they should come around, like something is happening or so. And her sister that was with her in the hospital with the husband, her sister said, sister, give me the key. Let me go home. So she went to the house and she went and carried like 2 cases, trunks of money, and took them out because he had a lot of trunks filled up with money. So she just carried about 2 for it not to look suspicious. She carried 2 and went and kept them in a safe place. By the time the man died and the brothers arrived when they heard the news, immediately they asked her, where is the key? Let them go to the house. They collected the key while she was still in the hospital with the dead body. They went there and took out all the trunks of money and all that. And they were even still suspicious and said, is that all the trunks of money that he had? She said, that is it too. So they couldn't do anything but just believe her. So they took them. And then they later came, carried everything in the house. His house was lavishly furnished. They carried all the chairs, the upholstery, everything, including the rug on the ground. They removed it. It was glued down. You know those sort of luxurious rugs that are glued like on the... They removed everything, stripped it. My husband could not believe it when he went to visit her. It was bench that she had in the living room for you to sit on. I couldn't just believe it. Are you kidding me? Then later they came back and said, well, they will want to evict her from the house because it's their brother's house. And she told them, yes, I agree. Your brother is the one that built the house. But it is my land. And I have papers showing the land is in my name. It is my land. But yes, the house, he built it. If you want, you can carry the house and go. But the land is my own. So there was nothing they could do. So what did they now decide? They decided that, okay, they will leave her to stay in the flat she was occupying. But then they are going to be collecting the rent in all the remaining flats that were being rented out. So that is how they left this woman with nothing. So that is what happens when you don't plan your life. Don't think anybody is going to take care of your family. Not to talk of next of kin. Many men don't bother. They marry, they don't change their next of kin. It may be their brother that they had there before. They just leave it that way. Then when they suddenly die, they are left with the brother or whoever it was they put there as the next of kin. There was this case. The brother went, collected all the money of his brother that died, and it was about 7 million or something. I can't remember the exact, but it was a lot of money, but in millions of naira. He collected this money. The wife did not even know. It was later when she was trying to go around to see about the money, his entitlements and everything, that she got to know that the brother had already come and collected the how many million. He did not give her penny from it. Not even the children. He didn't care what was going to happen to the children. He collected it all for himself. That is what happens. So if you say you love your wife, you love your children and your family, then it is time for you to sit down and do something. Do something for them. But that is not the main focus of my talk today. My talk today is for you, woman. Yes, you, woman. How are you taking care of yourself? Are you doing business? You're doing well now because your husband is alive and he's supporting you in things that you're doing. But when he's no longer alive, you're going to have problems. If your business is going well, that's good. I congratulate you. But then, are you saving? Are you just doing business and feeling, oh, I'm selling, I'm making gain, and then you're using it to take care of yourself and live big or whatever you're doing? You need to pause. Think of how you can save. There's something that helped me. As I paid tithes, one day I just saw the amount of money that I had contributed in tithe in a year. What did I do? I was like, if I can be saving 10% for myself, this is the amount of money that I will have. Oh. So I decided from then that any income I have, I'm going to save 10% for myself to keep it as an emergency fund. That if anything happens, I will have something from it. And I can even take from there and invest in some other things that will give me money. That is how I started. Buy shares, buy bonds, invest in things that will also reproduce more money for you. Because when your husband is not there, nobody is going to help you. You're going to fall back on these things. Woman, are you a stay-at-home mom? Or you have been asked not to work? If you're not working, ask yourself or ask your husband, if anything is going to happen to him and he's not there tomorrow, will you be able to maintain your lifestyle? What plan has he in stock for you for the time that he will not be there, since you're a stay-at-home mom? Do you have any investment? Has he done any investment for you? These are things that you should pause to think about. It may look rosy now, but you never can tell what will happen tomorrow. And thinking about this thing or discussing about this thing doesn't mean that you're wishing your husband ill luck. Doesn't mean that you're wishing your husband to die. No. But nobody knows tomorrow. And you don't want to be someone that will be going from pillar to post and begging for money and become a pitiful case for others. It is time for you to sit down and begin to think about these things. If for the men that say, oh, you don't want to write a will or something, you can also gift or buy things for your wife, just as my husband advised his friend. Buy gifts. If it's land or something, you can give it in the name of your wife or give her as a gift. Make documents, file them, and ensure that it's properly set. That if you're not there, she has something in her name. Something she doesn't even have to drag with anybody because it's originally in her name. You can also do that. Then woman, for those of you that do joint account, I do joint account too. Since I got married, I do joint account with my husband. But it's not something that I will advise anybody to do. It's not suitable for everybody. You have to know yourself and know your partner to say you're doing joint account. Yes, I know a friend that went into this joint account thing. The husband convinced her and she went into it. But you cannot believe it. She did not have any right to the money, her own money that she was working and earning. Even to buy pad, she had to go to her husband and ask him. And he will ask her how much is the pad. And he will count exactly the amount and give to her. Yet it's her money. It's her sweat. When my own joint account that I have with my husband, we sat down, we have checks and balances for it. We had a business account because we had a firm together that we were running. And in the business account, we could each sign for the same amount of money to use to run the business. But in the joint account also, we had checks and balances. There was nothing like, oh, because I'm a man, I can withdraw more than you. No. We had the same amount that we could withdraw. If I choose to go to the bank to withdraw, I could withdraw as much as he could withdraw at any given time. But there was a limit to what each of us could withdraw. The same limit. And then when it got to a higher amount, then both signatories are required. Why? It gives us opportunity to say this amount is big. Let us sit down and discuss. Why do you want to withdraw that huge amount of money? Then it gives us that opportunity to talk about it. And as we talk about it, we agree and then sign that yes, we're going to withdraw such a huge amount of money, which you can do. This is what is called checks and balances. Not just rushing to have a joint account with your partner. It is not wise. It can lead you into trouble. So know who you are with and write down like the steps you want to take, the rules you want to use in maintaining that joint account. This has happened to a lot of women, even highly educated women. Please, please ensure, if you know that your partner is a spendthrift, be careful. Be careful. Don't be in a hurry. And if you agree to a joint account, please ensure that you have check and balances. There's nothing like, oh, you're a woman, you will withdraw a smaller amount. Oh, it's only 2,000 or it's only 15,000 that you can withdraw at any given time. But me, because I'm a man, I can withdraw 25,000. No, it's not right. Those are red flags that you should really sit down and consider. And if you think if you're even already in the situation and you think it's not working for you, please, it is not too late. You can retable this thing for you people to discuss about it and see how you can set new rules to guide you. Fight for those checks and balances so that you're protected also. So, this is what brought me here this morning, and I hope that it will be of help to you. Even if it's just you, I will be happy that I've sown a seed in your life that you will think about and you will ponder on to know the next step you want to take. Death does not give notice, so it doesn't. It just comes suddenly. And then you're left with the katakata to take care of. Your life will suddenly change for the worse if you are not prepared. Now is the time for you to start preparing. Start looking at your life. Don't allow today to go again without you considering these things and begin to set a plan in motion. So, may your day go well.